All right, today we're going to jump back in time, thousands of years, to the Bronze Age. We're talking about an era of just colossal empires, god kings, and world-changing conflicts. We're going to explore how these incredible civilizations rose up, and then how they all came crashing down in a way that's still kind of mysterious.
So this is really the central question for us today. How does a city nobody's ever heard of suddenly become the center of the known world, only to get completely steamrolled by some mysterious new force? We're going to follow the epic story of one city, Babylon, and the powers that challenged it. It's this incredible drama of ambition and survival that played out on a world stage more than 3,000 years ago.
Okay, so our story kicks off with Babylon, but this wasn't the legendary, sprawling city we all picture. Not at first. Its beginnings were, well, surprisingly humble. You gotta picture it. This was a land dominated by massive city-states, real powerhouses like Ur. And for a long time, Babylon was just another city. Pretty unimportant, really. It was a total underdog, a really minor player in a game of titans.
You know, the city's name itself kind of gives you a hint of the ambition there. In the Akkadian language, it was called Bab Eli, which means Gateway of the Gods. I mean, what a name, right? It's like they knew they were destined for something big.
But man, Babylon's rise was not an overnight success story. It was a slow burn. After some Amorite chieftain takes over way back in 1894 BCE, the city just kinda hangs out, not doing much for over a century. But everything, and I mean everything, changed in the 18th century BCE when one man showed up.
And this is where King Hammurabi steps onto the scene. This guy is the game changer. He's the one who almost single-handedly takes Babylon from being this minor city and turns it into the capital of a massive Mesopotamian empire.
So how'd he do it? Well, through a brilliant and, frankly, pretty ruthless game of politics and war. First off, he plays it smart. He makes an alliance with the super-powerful Assyrians to the north. That move basically secures his backyard, freeing him up to expand south and gobble up his rivals one by one. Then, after he fights off a huge invasion, he does the unthinkable. He turns on his former allies, the Assyrians, catches them totally by surprise, and by 1755 BCE, he's unified the whole region under his rule. Just brilliant.
I mean, you really can't overstate how huge this was. Hammurabi's empire was immense. It stretched from near modern-day Syria all the way down to the Persian Gulf. He had literally made Babylon the center of the world. But, as we all know, that kind of power never goes unchallenged for long. So right as Babylon is hitting its absolute peak, a brand new and pretty scary power enters the game from a completely different direction. And this sets the stage for the next great showdown. These guys were the Hittites.
And the Hittites were total outsiders. They weren't from Mesopotamia at all. They came from a place called Anatolia, which is basically modern-day Turkey. They even spoke a completely different type of language, an Indo-European one, which set them apart from everybody else in the region. They were a new force, and they were playing by a whole new set of rules.
And then, in a move that must have just blown everyone's minds back then, the Hittite king Mursilis did the impossible. Not too long after Hammurabi's death, he marches his army all the way down into Mesopotamia and sacks the great city of Babylon. Just sacks it. But here's the twist. They couldn't hold on to it. Their own empire started falling apart because of drama back home, leaving this massive power vacuum. So after some time licking their wounds and getting their act together, the Hittites came back, and they came back stronger than ever. By the 1300s BCE, they are once again a dominant force to be reckoned with. And this comeback put them on a direct collision course with the other great superpower of the age, New Kingdom Egypt.
And all this tension, it finally boils over in the year 1274 BCE, at the legendary Battle of Kadesh. Just try to picture this. You've got tens of thousands of chariots, tens of thousands of soldiers, the two most powerful armies on the planet, clashing on a single battlefield for control of the entire Near East.
But here's the crazy part. After all that bloodshed, all that fighting, nobody really won. It was basically a draw, and it led both sides to a pretty stunning conclusion. Maybe there was more to gain from peace than from just endless war. So, in 1258 BCE, they signed what we now see as one of the very first major peace treaties in all of recorded history.
This historic deal, hammered out between Pharaoh Ramesses II and King Hattusilus II, it created a whole new balance of power. The Hittites got control over the super important land routes in Syria, and Egypt locked down its access to the rich trading cities along the Phoenician coast. For a little while, a fragile peace settled over the whole region.
But this golden age, this whole interconnected world of powerful empires, yeah, it was all about to come crashing down, violently, suddenly, and mysteriously. Historians have a name for it, the Late Bronze Age collapse.
Right around the year 1200 BCE, something just goes horribly, horribly wrong. And it wasn't just one empire falling, it was the entire system, the whole world. From Greece all the way to Mesopotamia, civilizations that have been around for centuries just started to fall apart, almost all at the same time.
And here's the thing that still drives historians crazy. We don't know exactly what started it all. It seems like it was this perfect storm of disasters hitting all at once. There was famine, there was disease, there was nonstop war. And then there were these massive waves of migrating people. We only know them by the chilling name the Egyptians gave them, the Sea Peoples. These mysterious raiders just swept through, leaving nothing but destruction behind.
But, out of all that destruction, something new rises from the ashes. We call it the Iron Age. As the old world collapsed, new technologies and new groups of people, like the Aramaeans and the Chaldeans, they rise up to take its place. And iron, a much stronger and more common metal, replaces bronze, changing everything from farming to warfare forever.
And that leaves us with one final pretty heavy question. The great empires of the Bronze Age, the Babylonians, the Hittites, the Egyptians, they must have seemed absolutely invincible, eternal. Their sudden, total collapse is just this stark reminder of how fragile even the most powerful civilizations really are. And in our own super-connected, super-complex world, it kind of forces you to ask, what unforeseen crisis, what's our version of the Sea Peoples, could be waiting for us just over the horizon?